What's going on, guys? It's your boy Kilgore here, back with another Call of Duty mobile video. Now in this video we will be looking at the top 10 best battle royale classes in Call of Duty mobile. So how I will be testing this class is I will test it on how it affects you and how it affects your enemy in case of you escaping or using it to your advantage. So that is overall how I will be basing the class. So if you guys enjoyed the video, go ahead and leave a like, subscribe, turn on that notification bell so you don't miss my future uploads. I'm on a journey to 500 subscribers, help me out. But without further ado, let's hop straight into the video.
Like a Hellcat.
Now in the number 10 position we have Desperado. Now this BR class is a very great BR class if you know how to use this class to your advantage. Now firstly, the shield turret that this class offers you will enable you to fall in a few high tier loot zones. Place it at a certain point in the map because that's kind of where map knowledge comes in, and you can get a few kills guaranteed with that shield turret. And the best and most OP thing about this class is that it offers you a skill called Last Stand. This skill basically enables you that when you're playing solo, duo or even squads and you're using this BR class, when an enemy knocks you down, you will have a pistol in your hand and you are able to try and kill that enemy with that pistol while you're still knocked down. If you're able to successfully take down that enemy, you will be able to self-revive and continue with the game. And I think that is very OP. Now with that said, let's get into the number 9 position on the list. In the number 9 position, we have Ninja. Now this BR class is very good when it comes down to offensive and defensive takedowns. What do I mean by this? The grappling hook that the class offers you enables you to either A, run from your enemies, or even B, use it to your advantage when taking down your enemies. For example, you could grapple and hip fire that enemy while you're still in mid-air, and that gives you an extreme speed boost when it comes down to offensive takedowns. And not to mention the second ability, Dead Silence, is very OP when it comes down to your stealth takedowns. So with that said, let's get into the number 8 position on the list. Now in the number 8 position we have the Scout. Now the Scout is a very useful BR class, especially when you're playing squads. This class will help you to know exactly how much enemies are, where your enemies are, to know if you can take them or you can just reposition yourself to take them at a later time. So I obviously think it is a great class, and not to mention the second ability that this perk gives you, which allows you to see your enemies' footprints even after they're gone for a certain amount of time. I think that is very useful when it comes down to map control and knowing exactly where your enemies are or if one is even close to you. So with that said, let's get into the number 7 spot on the list.
I just can't let you go. Lord knows that I've tried.
Now in the number 7 spot we have the Smoke Bomber. Now this class is a very OP and underrated class, simply because of all of the things this class allows you to do. For one, the Smoke Bomber allows you to throw a barrage of smoke similar to the Cluster Strike, and you will be able to see your enemies inside the smoke. Not only that, if you're being shot at in the smoke, it increases your speed while you're in the smoke. Another fun fact about the Smoke Bomber is that you don't even have to wait for your operator skill to be filled, because you can go around the map and look for random smoke grenades and use those to your advantage. So that's why I think this class is very underrated, and it is very OP when it comes down to offensive, escaping, and any type of battle strategy that you have in mind. So if you guys don't mind, try out the smoke bomber. I really think you guys are going to enjoy using the smoke bomber. It's a great class and it's very underrated. It's one of my personal favorite class. But with that said, let's get into the number 6 spot on the list. Now in the number 6 position, we have none other than the Engineer. Now the Engineer is a great Battle Royale class. Personally, it's not really one of my favorite classes, but in terms of solo and in some squad maps, you can use this class to 1. Locate your enemies, 2. Blur their map so they can't find you but you can find them, and 3. It basically throws off their perception of what's going on. Another good thing about the class is you are able to spot trap masters from afar, and you're also able to spot vehicles from afar. So if there is a case where you get caught inside the storm and the storm basically leaves you, I think basically the Engineer is the best thing to have. So with that said, let's get into the number 5 spot on the list. Now in the number 5 position, we have the Clown. Now recently, the Clown got a buff. Basically, if you ask me, I think that is really a buff from what it was before. Before, the Clown was basically when you threw that little thing on the ground, you would get like 3 or so zombies basically moving as slow as possible and trying to look for you. But now it is changed to K9 units, and I think it is a lot more difficult to deal with the K9 units than the zombies. So personally, I think the Clown is a great class for 1. Deception and 2. Offense. So if you think an enemy is close by or you even see the footsteps, you can just throw those K9 units out, and those K9 units will trap that guy and look for him. And once they find him, you will either hear him try to shoot, which gives you the opportunity to sneak up and claim that kill, or the K9 units is going to basically rip the guy to shreds while he's trying to run. Or if he's overpowering you, your K9 units can provide a level of support that you can use to escape. So I think the K9 unit is a great class, and I think you guys should definitely look into that class some more. Now with that said, let's get into the number 4 pick on the list. Now in the number 4 spot, we have the newest Battle Royale class, and that is the Spotter. Now this class is a very useful class. For 1, it shows you exactly where the winged enemies are. Now for those who don't understand what are winged enemies are basically enemies that like jump from roof and they go into their little flight suits and fly around the map. Or even the airborns that like to fly up in the sky and all of those things. This class here makes sure it shows you exactly where these guys are on the map, and not only that, it gives you the ability to summon a cluster strike at anywhere where you will shine your little laser. Now it can be used for evading battles, so if you're in a high tier loot zone and you're overwhelmed by enemies, you can just drop your little laser light right there and start making your way away from that battlefield. And not only that, you can even use it to secure objectives. Like you see the package, the airdrop over there, you can just go ahead and shine your spotter on that and make sure that that area remains as clear as possible, so you can go over there and claim your loot. You can also, if you set it right, you can kill enemies with the spotter and so much more. And the best thing about the spotter, for everyone who likes using the rocket launcher, I have good news for you. The spotter increases your reload speed for rocket launchers. So that is basically a very good class to have. And with that said, let's get into the number 3 spot on the list. Now in the number 3 spot, we have none other than the Trickster. Now the Trickster is a very awesome perk, especially if you know how to use it to your advantage. So basically, for those who don't know, the Trickster basically gives you Shadow Clone Jutsu in a nutshell. So you basically just Naruto your way with the Trickster. So you go ahead and you summon 2 other holograms of yourselves, and you can use this to either fool your enemies and take them down stealthily, or you can use it to escape any type of overwhelming battle. Now the best thing about the Trickster is you get alert with the Trickster. Now what the alert does, it helps you to spot footprints a bit more earlier than usual. So instead of the regular time you take to spot your enemy's footprints, the Trickster basically gives you a little buff where that is concerned. So the Trickster is a great one when it comes down to solo queuing or even duos or squads. It's overall a great thing, and I totally recommend you guys to give it a check out. Now with that said, let's get into the number 2 spot on the list. So in the number 2 spot, we have none other than the Poltergeist. So the Poltergeist is a great battle royale class. Personally, it is one of my favorite battle royale classes, and I have used this class to kill countless enemies, and I mean you guys can do the same as well. So if you are a sniper or overall like to play stealthy, you will love the Poltergeist. So what this class does is once you equip it, it will turn you transparent and help you to camouflage in your surroundings a lot more, especially when you're in those high grassed areas. You can use this to creep up on your enemies, or you can even use it to take your friends' dog tags, or a lot of things. This class is just overall great. Escaping enemies, you can use it and zigzag, run around and just escape your enemies. You can stealthily take down your enemies, and overall the best part is while you're in that stealth mode, it gives you a little speed boost and a walking speed boost. So that is another great thing about this class. Now with that said, let's get into some honorable mentions before we get into number 1. Now the honorable mentions for this list have to go to the Defender and the Hacker. So for one, the Hacker is a great BR class to have, especially when you're playing squads, because there are a lot of trap masters out there, and this class overall helps you to deactivate those trap masters that are close by, so you guys can have that safe journey and that safe trip to make sure that you guys are okay. Then for the Defender is more of an aggressive type of BR class. If you're taking out enemies or you're overall trying to guard an objective, you can use the Defender to not only flash your opponents, but just to stay behind that shield so you can take down that opponent until all of your teammates are up and ready. So with that said, let's get into the number 1 pick of this video. Now in the number 1 pick, I'm sure most of you guys already called it. It has to go to the Trap Master. Now sadly, this class is very overpowered, and you find a lot of people using that to their advantage. For one, the Trap Master gives you the ability to place 3 traps. Until upgraded, you can place 4 traps where you want to place them. So they are electrical booby traps that basically shows you where your opponents are. It basically shocks them and decreases a huge amount of health of your opponents, and not to mention it overall just stuns them and allows them to move slow. So that is basically 3 for the price of 1, which is why this class is going to continue to be one of the most overused class until Call of Duty really decides to nerf it. But it is nevertheless at the top part of the list because of those 3 abilities that the Trap Master offers you. If you know how to use this to your advantage, you can get a whole lot of kills. I literally place Trap Masters like in front of airdrops, and while I'm walking around the map, I literally just start to see points just coming up on my screen. I killed him. This overall class here is just insane. So that is why it is really here at the #1 place. So if you guys enjoyed my list, go ahead and leave a like on the video, subscribe, turn on your notification bell so you don't miss any of my future uploads. If you guys had an alternative list from the one that I presented today, go ahead and leave them in the comment section of this video. I will be sure to look into it and comment. Also, if you have any future video ideas, go ahead and leave them in the comment section of this video. I will look into it and potentially feature it in a next video. So if you guys enjoyed the video, again, please share, like, subscribe, turn on your notification bells, and thank you guys for everything, and I'll see you guys in the next video.